Hi everyone, I'm Linda Reimer, one of the librarians at the Southeast DeMen County Library. Welcome to Library Connections, our weekly readers, viewers, and listeners advisory video cast. Enjoy. Library Connections 100. This is the Friday, June 3rd, 2022 edition of Library Connections. Jumping right in with the top 5 fiction bestsellers for this week from the New York Times. At number 1, Night Work by Nora Roberts. Harry Booth, a master thief, breaks things off with Miranda when a dangerous contact might harm her. At number 2, Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. In a quiet town on the North Carolina coast, in 1969, a young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect. At number 3, It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. A battered wife, raised in a violent home, attempts to halt the cycle of abuse. At number 4, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. While on vacation in North Carolina, a literary agent keeps running into an editor. And at number 5, Verity by Colleen Hoover. Loan Ashley is hired by the husband of an injured writer to complete her popular series, and she uncovers a horrifying truth. Moving on to the top 5 nonfiction bestsellers for this week. At number 1, Here's the Deal by Kellyanne Conway. The former senior counselor in President Trump's White House gives her account of her time in politics. At number 2, Killing the Killers by Bill O'Reilly and Martin Dugard. The 11th book in the conservative commentator's Killing series gives an account of the global war against terrorists. At number 3, Finding Me by Viola Davis. The multiple award-winning actress describes the difficulties she encountered before claiming her sense of self and achieving professional success. At number 4, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel Vanderkulk. How trauma affects the body and mind, and innovative treatments for recovery. And rounding out the top 5, Phil by Alan Shipnuck, an unauthorized biography of the golf champion Phil Mickelson. And just as a reader's tip, if you'd like to access the entire top 15 New York Times bestsellers each week, both fiction and nonfiction, you can do so for free. Just go to nytimes.com/books/best-sellers, and you'll get the page where you can access fiction and nonfiction bestsellers in both print and ebook form. Our first recommended read for this week is the new Adriana Trigiani novel, The Good Left Undone. This sweeping epic from Trigiani follows 3 generations of the Tuscan Cabrielli clan as they deal with war, heartbreak, and family secrets. Octogenarian Matilda Rofo, knowing her days are numbered, reveals to her children and grandchildren the truth about her mother Domenica's seldom discussed first marriage to the Scottish sea captain John Laurie McVickers. Flashback to 1939, when Domenica, while practicing as a nurse, recommends birth control to a patient, angering a local priest who forces her to leave her hometown. She ends up working at a hospital in France where she meets McVickers while treating his neck wounds. The looming war takes McVickers away, but the two run into each other in Glasgow, Scotland, a year later, and decide to marry. Tragedy strikes, and Dominica returns to Tuscany to make a life for herself and her newborn Matilda. In the present, Matilda's revelations send ripples across the family and change the trajectory of her granddaughter's life. Some of the many subplots about minor characters distract from the emotional core of the story, but Trigiani's lush descriptions and trademark acute attention to family dynamics more than compensate. This saga of family and legacy is one to savor, and that's the Publisher's Weekly Review. And a book to savor sounds like the perfect summer reading title, doesn't it? If you like historical fiction, check that one out. Our second recommended read for this week is also historical fiction. I'm on a kick. This is a mystery, of course. It's the latest Victoria Thompson mystery, Murder on Madison Square. Thompson's 25th Gaslight mystery is every bit as satisfying as its many predecessors in this consistently entertaining series. Frank Malloy is consulted by Ethel Bing, who wants him to set her husband up for adultery. She appears to be desperate, but refuses to tell him why. Frank declines. After Frank and his wife Sarah meet the woman's husband, who is promoting electric motor cars at the inaugural car show in Madison Square Garden, Bing is found crushed beneath his own car. Ethel hires Frank to investigate. Once all the characters are introduced, readers may immediately guess what is going on. It might have been more difficult for Frank and Sarah to comprehend in 1900, but it is something that gives them all a motive to kill the man. As always, Thompson manages to reflect the social climate of the time, especially where Frank's assistant Gino Donatelli is concerned, and provides interesting historic details. The first wave of motorcars was electric because internal explosion engines were a hard sell at the time, for sure. And that's the Booklist review. And as mentioned, this is the 25th book in the series. If you haven't read the series and you want to start from the beginning, check out the first book, which is called Murder on Astor Place. Our first audiobook recommendation of the week is Aaron Lincoln's The Memory Keeper of Kiev. The audio is read by Catherine Fenton. This novel is perfect for fans of the tattooist of Auschwitz and the beekeeper of Aleppo. In the 1930s, Stalin's activists marched through the Soviet Union, espousing the greatness of collective farming. It was the first step in creating a man-made famine that in Ukraine stole almost 4 million lives. Inspired by the history the world forgot, and the Russian government denies, Aaron Lincoln reimagines their story. In 1929, Kata is 16 years old, surrounded by family, and in love with the boy next door. When Stalin's activists arrive in her village, it's just a few, a little pressure to join the collective. But soon, neighbors disappear, and those who speak out are never seen again, and each new day becomes uncertain. Resistance has a price, and as desperate hunger grips the countryside, survival seems more a dream than a possibility. But even in the darkest times, love beckons. 70 years later, a young widow discovers her grandmother's journal, one that will reveal the long-buried secrets of her family's haunted past. This is a story of the resilience of the human spirit, the love that sees us through our darkest hours, and the true horror of what happened during the Holodomor, which is also known as the Terror Famine or the Great Famine in the Ukraine. Our second audiobook recommendation for this week is the new Erica forensic thriller, The River at Night. The audio is read by Joy Osmonsky. The past few years have not been easy for Winifred Allen. Her younger brother's death and a divorce have left her emotionally drained. She hopes the annual trip with her three best friends, Pia, Sandra, and Rachel, will be a welcome respite from her problems. Emboldened by Pia's adventurous spirit, Winnie, despite her fears, agrees to whitewater rafting in the uncharted wilds of Maine. After a long car trip, the ladies meet their guide and embark on the challenging rapids. When a log capsizes their raft, there are deadly consequences. Struggling to survive, Winnie and her friends are faced with terrible choices when they stumble onto a camp and the salvation they expect turns into more danger. Verdict. In the tradition of James Dickey's Deliverance, this exciting survival tale, by the author of The Repeaters, hooks readers from the first page. But it is the strong character development that really stands out. Winnie is a compelling heroine, a flawed woman whose fears and regrets are fleshed out by flashbacks throughout the narrative. The friendships among the four women are well drawn and believable, and that is the Library Journal review. Our first streaming recommendation for this week is the new TV series Night Sky, Season 1. The series is created by Holden Miller and stars Sissy Spacek, J.K. Simmons, and Chai Hansen. You can stream this one from Amazon Prime. Irene and Frank York, a retired couple, have a secret. A chamber buried in their backyard that miraculously leads to a strange, deserted planet. When an enigmatic young man arrives, the Yorks' quiet existence is upended, and the mysterious chamber they thought they knew so well turns out to be much more than they could ever have imagined. Starring, of course, Sissy Spacek and J.K. Simmons as Irene and Franklin York. So if you're looking for a sci-fi tinged thriller, check out Night Sky. Our second streaming recommendation for this week is the cool new series Prehistoric Planet, featuring David Attenborough as your host. This one can be streamed from Apple TV+. Prehistoric Planet is a nature series, executive produced by John Favreau and Mike Gooden, and it takes current research of dinosaurs and pairs it with cutting-edge CGI technology to present long-extinct animals in their natural habitats, caring for babies and avoiding predators. The nature series aesthetic on the series is so strong, Sir David Attenborough has been brought on board to narrate. The gist of it is that the episodes of Prehistoric Planet are organized around the geographic features where the profiled dinosaurs lived. The first episode takes a look at the various ancient wildlife around the coasts. Other episodes examine forests, freshwater environments, deserts, and what they call ice worlds. And that's the decider overview of the series. I have seen 2 episodes of this. I gotta watch the rest of it. It is top-notch, and in watching it, you really would believe that they just filmed these dinosaurs in their natural environments. Very cool stuff. And our third streaming recommendation for this week is the first part of Season 4 of Stranger Things, which just came out, created of course by the same duo that did the first 3 seasons, Matt and Ross Duffer, starring Millie Bobby Brown, Finn Wolfhard, Winona Ryder, and an ensemble cast. Stranger Things is available to stream through Netflix. It's been 3 long years without Eleven, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, Max, Steve, Nancy, Hopper, and the Bryars. In other words, it's been a long 3 years without the Stranger Things cast. Time has passed for our beloved characters, leaving the main gang now split apart, as Eleven and the Bryars have relocated to California, Hopper is imprisoned in Russia, and everyone else is back in Hawkins, Indiana. Yet no matter where they are, there's no escaping the dangers and horrors that always seem to find them. This season you can look forward to everything from glam roller skating excursions and trials and triumphs of high school life to gunfights, explosions, and even a haunted house. There's definitely no shortage of scares, delights, and memorable moments ahead, so get ready for the thrilling viewing experience that is Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1, coming your way only on Netflix. That's the Decider overview. And I do have to add, in case you haven't seen any of the Stranger Things episodes from any of the series, this is set in the 1980s, so it's kind of a prime Generation X series, although other people will enjoy it too. Moving on to our Hoopla recommendation for this week, I'm going to recommend the first season of a fun TV series. It's called Under the Vines. Let me tell you a little about it. When Sydney socialite Daisy Monroe and London lawyer Lewis Oakley inherit a New Zealand vineyard, they quickly learn that they are not the sole heirs as they believed, and that the estate itself is a dilapidated money pit. The disenchanted duo want nothing more than to sell up, split up, and get out of there. But, and you knew there was going to be a but when they get an unexpected taste of success, they wonder if the vineyard may not be worthless after all. Despite never having done a hard day's work in their lives, these unlikely vineyards must somehow make the Oakley winery profitable if it's to survive. And as they dig into the project, they discover it's never too late to come of age. This is great fun if you like sort of British humor fun. It is fun anyway. Check out Under the Vines Season 1. Moving on to our next section, next week at the library, a brief listing of the activities and events hosted by the library for the week ahead of us. That's the week of June 6th through the 11th, 2022, of course. This information can also be found through the library's website. Just go to ssclibrary.org and click on the big, bold calendar link you'll find on our homepage. And just to note, registration is required for programs unless otherwise specified, or unless a program is something that is available to everyone online, like Facebook Live programs or programs available through YouTube. You can register for programs through the library's website, by calling the library, or by just dropping by. On Monday, June 6th, there are no library events scheduled. However, the Friends of the Library Summer Book Sale is continuing. The book sale schedule for the week of June 6th is as follows: Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The book sale is being held in the library's community room, and the Friends of the Library book sale contact is Nancy Doubt. Should you wish to contact her with questions, her email address is listed here. I forgot the dot. There it is. On Tuesday, June 7th, we have several fun items to bring your attention to in Library Land. The Friends of the Library book sale continues, of course. And then from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., we have Adult Scrabble, which is held in the library's reading room. From 10 to 11 a.m., we have Storytime in Centerway Square. The location of that program is Centerway Square, and the program's hosted by our children's librarian, Sue McConnell. Then from 10:30 to 11 a.m., we have Coffee, Tea, and English online conversation. This is a Zoom program for adult learners of English. And in the evening, we have a special program from 7 to 8:15 p.m. It's the Poetry Writing Workshop number 1 with Akua Leslie Hope. The location is Zoom, so you have to register to get the Zoom link. This is the first part of a 2-part generative workshop led by poet and artist Akua Leslie Hope, using the self as a source. This is a workshop for adults 18 and older, and you must attend the first program in order to register and be eligible to attend the second program, which is next Tuesday, June 14th. On Wednesday, June 8th, we have 2 programs in Library Land. First is Mahjong from 1 to 3 p.m. The program is held at the library. And the second is the Corning Adult Writers Group, which is a hybrid program being held both at the library and via Zoom. That runs from 6 to 8 p.m., and you contact Michelle Wells to register for that program. On Thursday, June 9th, we've got 1 program. From 4:30 to 6 p.m., we have Teen Dungeons & Dragons. Led by professional dungeon master Tim Collins, this gathering is suitable for those ages 13 to 17. All levels of experience will be welcome in this safe space. Come to one or all gatherings, and registration is required. On Friday, June 10th, we have several items to bring your attention to, starting with the weekly debut of the latest Library Connections video, which is out at 1 o'clock on Fridays. You can access that through Facebook or the library's YouTube channel. That's followed by the monthly Adult Book Club from 3 to 4 p.m., and the location of that is in the library's conference room. Our June read is Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. Then from 5 to 6:30 p.m. we have Crochet 101 for young adults and the young at heart with Philomena Jack. Join yarn lover Philomena Jack as she returns in a hands-on crochet class for newbies and current crocheters. All materials supplied, lefties and righties. Crochet is hot again right now. Get in on the action. For young craftspeople ages 10 to 17 and those young at heart, aged 18 or older. And registration is required for that program because there's a limited number of spots. On Saturday, June 11th, the Friends of the Library book sale continues. Book sale hours on Saturday, June 11th are 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And for the next week, that's the week of June 13th to June 17th, the book sale hours will be 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. And again, the book sale is being held in the library's community room throughout the month of June. And here's the listing of library programs contacts should you wish to email any of us or give us a call in order to register for a program, or if you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. Have questions about this weekly videocast? Let me know. You can send me an email. My email address is reimerl@stls.org. That's reimerl@stls.org. Or you can always drop by the library. Library hours. An important thing to know, the library is open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and we're closed on Sundays. The library's website is found at ssclibrary.org. You can find a whole host of useful information on our website. To offer you a Cliff Notes version today, I'm just going to talk about 3 sections of our homepage that will allow you to access cool stuff. The first is the link that says Calendar on our homepage. If you click that or tap it, you'll be redirected to our calendar of events. where you can register for programs and see what's going on both in the library and also the remote programming we have. If you click on the word Catalogs, a menu will open that will allow you to access all the library's catalogs for both physical content like print books and digital content like eBooks. And then if you click on the Resources menu link, seen at the top of the page there, also bordered in red, a menu will open. And you can do a bunch of stuff through that menu. You can register to vote. You can access anti-racism resources. But today I want to direct you to the Research and Learning page on our website. So that's the third option on the Resources menu, Research and Learning. And if you click or tap that, the Research and Learning page will display. And this lists some of the most popular databases that we offer, otherwise known as online research resources, but I find that a mouthful. So basically these are credible research resources, which I'm going to refer to as databases from now on. And these are available to you as a card holder, but they're not free to everyone everywhere. You get them as a card holder, but the library and/or the library system pays for these. And through our website, through the Research and Learning page on our website, you find some of the most popular ones you can access, including Mango Languages, if you want to learn another language, even pirate, and the Heritage Quest resource or database. And that's for genealogical research. And those are great resources. And if you're going to do really in-depth research, though, you want to go all the way down to the bottom of the page. In the last little paragraph there, it says, would you like to find more databases and resources? And then below that little paragraph in purple, it says, find the complete list of STLS databases here. That's the link you want to click on if you're doing in-depth research. It's going to redirect you to the databases page on the STLS website. And you see a photo of the top portion of that page on the right side of your screen. So here we see a large portion of the list of databases that you can access for in-depth research on tons of topics: criminal justice, the culinary arts, diversity, gender studies. There's a health database. If you want to do health research, there's one on opposing viewpoints. If you have to write a paper on a subject that has two sides to the story, which is usually the case, you can look at that. There are several academic resources if you're a college or high school student doing research. There's even one on gardening and landscaping, on the hospitality industry, and a home improvement collection too. So lots of stuff on the STLS databases page, which you can access through our website, or you can go directly to that page by typing www.stls.org/databases into your web browser. StarCat and the BookMine app. StarCat is the catalog of physical library materials available to all card holders of the public libraries in the Southern Tier Library System, otherwise known as STLS. STLS encompasses the public libraries in Steuben, Chemung, Yates, Schuyler, and Allegheny counties. You can access StarCat online at starcat.stls.org. That's starcat.stls.org. Or, as you might imagine, there's an app for that. It's called BookMine, and it's spelled a little differently. It's BookMyne, and that will give you direct access to StarCat through your mobile device, and you can find the BookMine app in your app store. The digital catalog and its companion app Libby. The digital catalog too is available to all card holders of all Southern Tier Library System member libraries, and you can find it online at stls.overdrive.com, or you can download the Libby app found in your app store to your mobile device. The digital catalog features eBooks, audiobooks, and a handful of streaming videos. Hoopla. The Hoopla catalog features eBooks, comic books, full-length albums, downloadable audiobooks, and streaming videos, including both TV shows and movies. All Hoopla items are available for instant checkout for Southeast Steuben County Library card holders with a maximum of 6 checkouts per month. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking and watching this and you're thinking, well, why is it just for Corning Library card holders or SSC Library card holders? That's because this particular service, Hoopla, is one that the Southeast Steuben County Library pays for. The others, the digital catalog and of course StarCat, are collection-wide catalogs, and all member libraries contribute to them. So that's what the difference is. If you want to check out the Hoopla catalog online, you go to hoopladigital.com, and of course there's an app, Hoopla, for your mobile device. Social media. If you have questions about the library, you are welcome, of course, to go the traditional route and give us a call. But if you'd like to take the modern route and contact us via social media, you can do that too. The library has presences on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Library blogs. The library has 5 blogs we'd like to bring your attention to. I'm going to list them in alphabetical order. The first one is the Book Club for Adults blog, which is found at ssclbook.club, and it features, you guessed it, 2 posts per month that relate to the monthly book club for adults as compared to young adults or kids. And the second post for each month includes readers' advisory recommendations that were discussed during the meeting of the month and a general overview of the plot of the book that we read for the month. Moving along alphabetically, our second blog is the Corning NY History blog. That's our local history blog found online at corningnyhistory.com. It features weekly postings on Fridays that include photos from the library's local history archive and old newspaper articles of the week. Then we have Creation Stationery, the Makerspace blog found at creationstationery.com. There are occasional creative postings relating to the library's Makerspace and Makerspace programs. Our third blog is Story Musings, a blog hosted by the library's resident author and head of adult services, Michelle Wells. There are regular postings offering book reviews, recipes, and more. You can find Story Musings at storymusing.blogspot.com. You can also access all the blogs through the library's website. Our fourth blog is one that yours truly hosts. It's the Tech and Book Talk blog, a readers, viewers, and listeners advisory blog found at sscltech.com. I do occasionally include helpful tech tips because I like technology, and of course we like technology in library land, but I'm digressing. Weekly postings for this blog include suggested reading, suggested listening, New York Times bestsellers, and a post of Library Connections videos the Tuesday after they first appear on Facebook and YouTube. And our fifth blog is called Teen Tones. It's the library's blog for young adults and has great information about upcoming programs and other items of interest found at teentones.com. And briefly, our references of the week and our catalog information. And that's the program for this week. I'll be back next week with a new edition of Library Connections. Have a great week.